it's hard not to look at this show and realize and not understand all of the things that it went through to get to that point. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense without knowing the behind the scenes stuff. It's just integral into how the story developed. And for those who don't know, I want to find the episode list so I can know.
Episodes 2 through 7 were the ones that were pre-overhaul with scenes.
Backing up. Daredevil was announced, and I would love to go back and look at the timeline. If I wasn't doing a podcast, this is actually an idea I've had, is to make videos similar to news, breaking news, Doomsday has started filming or something. But it's not for people, like, it's not to release right away. It's for a archive so that when Doomsday releases, I put together a video that says, hey, it's April 22nd, Doomsday has started filming. And then you have like an archive of videos of what we were thinking. And we're kind of doing that with the state of the franchise. But anyways, a while ago, very long time ago, Daredevil Born Again was announced, and Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Frank Castle, or John Bernthal, I believe, were the only three that were announced to return. Vanessa was going to be recast. Foggy and Karen were not going to be in it. It did not sound like it was actually a season 4 to Born Again, or to Daredevil from the Netflix seasons. And they started filming that. They did not get positive reception to that, and I believe the SAG protests and strike put a hold on that anyways. And we heard that there was going to be a complete overhaul of the show. And yet they got too far along to actually scrap everything. So what they did was they took episodes 1 through 6 of season 1, bumped them up to 2 through 7. And then, they probably cut episodes 7 through 9 of the original one, or whatever their plan was for it. Bumped up episodes 1 through 6 to be episodes 2 through 7 of the new one, and made episode 1 and episode 8 and 9 to be new episodes. And you can feel it. You can feel the tonal differences with 1, 8, and 9, as well as just the general story. We watched episode 8, and Ellie was like, where has this story been? This is the story. And we're just getting started. We're talking about things in episode 1, or talking about things from episode 1 in episode 8. And yes, there has been some things, but that's kind of like writing in the story, like thinking about what they did with Adam. Adam was a storyline in 2 through 7, but it was really finished maybe at the end of 7, I believe, or at the end. I don't remember, but it's very loosely tied in and actually has no true effect on 8 and 9, except that the trust issues between Wilson and Vanessa. You and I said that episode 5 is just filler, which I don't know why you need filler in such a short season. I am assuming that once season 2 comes out, that's going to feel like the whole season, because that's what it kind of used to be. But still, I am going to argue throughout this whole episode that you shouldn't be waiting for season 2. I believe seasons should stand on their own. Otherwise, don't release them. And if season 1 of Born Again was only meant to set up season 2, and yes, maybe it was a course correction because they were like, we have to use some of what we did, and that's 2/3 of the show. When you realize that most of that is filler, the Muse storyline, the Hector Ayala, they basically have their own section, and then you could probably cut episodes 1, episodes 8 and 9, and then chunks from 2 through 7, just a few minutes here and there to fill in the gaps, and you could make a regular movie, or maybe a 2-part season or a 2-part special presentation or something. And people consistently are saying this is a great setup for season 2. I'm like, I don't care. I want season 1 to be good. And it was almost good. I did not enjoy it. Mostly. I enjoyed parts of it. I did not enjoy the season as a whole. I'll say that. Okay. There are good parts to it. And we can talk about that in a sec. But just as from a bird's eye view, it is lower than season 2 of the original series. And season 2 is known as the worst of those 3, though it's still really good. And I would watch season 2 over this 100 times over. I'll let you talk and rant for a second.
I would call it, I would say it's almost great instead of almost good.
Okay.
I had a little
because you think it's good?
Higher of a standard for it.
All right, well.
I think, yeah.
Oh, so I had it as almost so good.
Almost so good. Okay. So we're basically saying the same thing.
Yeah. Terminology. Semantics.
I think you can really tell what's pre-overhaul and what's post-overhaul. Mm-hmm. Very obvious. Really, one of the big things is like you really only see Matt really morning foggy on a few occasions until like episode 8. Yeah. Besides that, it's not acknowledged too much. Foggy getting killed by Bullseye isn't referenced again until the first scene with Frank Castle. So
I think the Frank Castle scene in 4 was added after.
Yeah, it was
because Bernthal said that he wouldn't return unless they did his character justice. And I believe that 4 and 9 that he was in had good Punisher scenes. Mm-hmm. But it also the Frank Castle and Matt Murdock discussion in episode 4 felt shoehorned in. Like it didn't need to be there. I understand the Punisher tie-in with how the cops started to use the Punisher logo as a symbol for anarchy and such, but it really felt shoehorned in because Matt just goes in there. He's like, "Look, I found this," and I'm like, "Okay, you could have a Punisher tie-in without having Castle there." So that the Castle edition felt added. They could have.
They said that scene was meant for a later episode.
Interesting.
So I think it probably would have fit better in like episode 8 or so. Yeah.
But also it was the boost we needed because I wasn't feeling good about 1 through 3. You can go back and listen to our reactions per section. But 4 was good. And then was it 4 and 5 that were released together?
5 and 6 were released together.
6. Yeah. So now that we were recording, I believe the live action remakes episode that night. Mm-hmm. And I said, there must be a reason why they're releasing a two mid-season episodes together. And it's because they knew 5 was weak. They knew 5 was a filler episode. And so they were like, let's get 2 out because the episode 6 is really the one to talk about.
And episode 4, we like to say that it's really good, but it mostly just had a really good scene.
Yeah.